All right, guys, it's time to talk about the Philadelphia Flyers. And after a pretty disappointing season that saw them finish bottom in the East, um, yeah, it wasn't a fun one. But what did make it fun was watching Matvei Michkov absolutely tear it up for the Flyers last season. He brought exactly what everyone thought he was going to bring, and made for an exciting watch, although the overall performance of the team wasn't fantastic. But it was pretty expected as well. So they're in a little bit of a rebuild. You got to expect those bad seasons. It allowed them to get another high draft pick, and just add to that depth that they've got. Um, they made a couple of other interesting off-season moves, Jaden. And if you want to just take us through what their current
Yeah,
projected lineup for this
let's
upcoming
go.
season is.
Let's go through it. So we got Dvorak, Couturier, Michkov, Tippett, Zegras, Konechny, Forster, Cates, Brink, Delorier, Abels, and Hathaway. On D, we've got York, Sandheim, Sealer, Drysdale, Ginning, and Juleson. And then in regards to goaltending, Urson and Vladar. Additions in regards to free agency, Dvorak, York, and Vladar, and Yulson were pretty much the four notables there. And in regards to trades, they obviously brought in Zegras for Poling and a few picks.
Yeah, it's your
And
mate.
my my mate, yep, okay, all right, we'll go with that. And then they brought in just a depth like Tucker Robertson for Joan Randall, and then got rid of Fedotov to Columbus. So ultimately, the team. I don't mind the top five. I'm not a fan of Zegras, so that I'm not going to say top six. And then I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of the bottom six. So basically, 5 out of 7 forwards give my approval. The rest, I am not, on the highest of ups with. Decor, Sandheim, Drysdale, that they're solid, but around them, it's not the best. And that goaltending is probably one of the worst tandems in the league, honestly. Uh,
Mm,
both both goaltenders for the last 3 years have not been over 900 save percentage. Um,
yep.
so it doesn't bode well. It doesn't look good. I don't think bringing in Zegras with that type of locker room personality is probably the best ad.
Hmm.
And yeah, I'm very pessimistic. There's not nothing I can even say that like besides like Michkov being like going crazy. Um,
Hmm.
there's nothing I can go boom. So obviously,
Yeah.
nay for playoffs for me. And yay for probably bottom of the Metro again. Um,
Yeah.
that's unfortunately what I see for Philly.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him, isn't it? The Zegras call is going to be interesting. I don't like when you sit there and think Broad Street Bullies and all the rest of that sort of stuff, and the physical style that the Flyers have been known for. Zegras just seems like a real interesting decision to bring into the organization. I mean, I get that you want to sort of probably make a mix of it because, the game is getting faster, it is getting more skill based. But yeah, Zegras as a flyer was just one of the more interesting things I've seen in the off season. Who knows? He might thrive there. He might sort of toughen up a little bit and get a bit grittier. You never know.
No,
But
I
yeah,
personally just think he's got personality problems. That's his
mm,
that's his big gripe. It's not even like his skill or anything like that. It's his personality, which brings the rest down. Um, but yeah, I
yeah,
am a Zegras non-fan, you could say. So yeah, take my
yeah,
my opinion with a grain of salt then.
yeah. He's a bit biased there, but no. Look, I don't know. I don't see a positive season for them. I think that defense is lacking and the goaltending is very poor. When you've got a goaltender who is your number one goaltender in Urson playing 50 games and his save percentage is like 870. that's that's a bad time for anyone. Um, and yeah, like the defense in front of him isn't going to be any better. I struggle to see this team improving. Um,
They're just going to struggle to
it's
score goals, and they're going to struggle to
yeah,
keep it out of the net as well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I think
that
it's going to be a long season.
yeah, it's going to be long, and I don't think they're going to do one of the miraculous Philly seasons where like they miss the playoffs, then they go to the playoffs, and they miss and they just bring out like Couturier is no longer the Couturier that we know him to be. He's since injuries and age, it's not been the best. Yeah, I really can't see really good things for him. The good thing is they got 2027 Toronto's first,
Mhm.
which it is top 10 protected, and then they do have a third of the Kings. But even draft picks, I would like to, for the situation they've been in and how long they've been in it, I would have liked to have seen at least either more up and coming stars or draft
Yeah,
picks.
I
But yeah,
I think the
sorry
problem.
Philly fans for being so pessimistic. But yeah,
Yeah, the problem, and I think the Philly fans know it too, is their big problem has been the organization just doesn't want them to go into a rebuild. And, they made a statement, I think 2 years ago, where it was like, yeah, we're finally going to go into a rebuild. And then it was like, but we kind of don't want to. um, so, look, this team's definitely not going to be good enough for playoffs. So I think that's probably a positive for the Flyers fans, is that they finished quite low last season, got a decent draft pick. They'll probably finish quite low again this season, get another decent draft pick. Michkov's young, so he's going to be around for a while. Even the likes of Tippett and Zegras, I think Forrest is quite young too. They've got some young players to build around, especially if you can add some other prospects to that. You get what, 2 or 3 seasons bottoming out, get some good, top five prospects
Mm.
in the frame. But you have that young core as well that you can build around. Drysdale is quite young, so and obviously pairing Drysdale up with his good friend Zegras, which is probably one of the reasons why they did bring Zegras in. I I can see a future for the Flyers, but they've got to be bad for the next few years
Yeah,
to get
I
there.
think they need to draft a first line center.
Hmm.
I think that's the biggest key is get a first line center and somehow sort out the goaltending situation. Um, whether it's draft or a lucky trade, and round out that decor as well. Like they got a lot of pieces there that they don't have age problems. Like they're pretty young.
Yeah.
Um, and but the thing is the assets to be able to trade for other assets they're kind of lacking. So they need to
Mhm.
make some risky acquisitions. I get
Mhm.
Zegras isn't a risky acquisition. It's just not the way I would have went about it. But it's kind of the right mindset. Like you're taking those risky acquisitions that can boost your value, and then
Yeah.
either trade or they're keepers.
And
So it's
bringing in a
smart in that
young
sense.
player too.
Yeah,
Bringing in a young player, like that's the important part. The one thing I don't want to see this team do is go and get like a bunch of 32-year-olds and 33-year-olds
nah.
and be like, yeah, we're bringing in some veteran presence to
I
go
want to see
for it. Like,
25 to 27.
yeah,
Your what is it? One of the Buffalo defenders. He was one of the prime examples of a player that he was on a down year. I'm forgetting his name right now.
uh, um, but
And
Byram,
yeah,
Byram,
Byram. Yeah, from
yeah,
Colorado to Buffalo. Um,
yeah,
he was like one of my prime examples of a player that like a down year, good age. There's
you can pick up for
potential.
not a
These are
lot.
the risky moves that these type of teams need to make. Um,
Yeah,
and that's what I
fits
want to
the
see.
dynamic, fits the age bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're the moves that they've got to make. I wouldn't be angry at that move from the Flyers as long as it doesn't, sacrifice their first round pick. If they can trade out some other assets, maybe a player or so that aren't going to be around for when they're good, and bring in players like that. I just don't want to see them assets, wasting first round picks on players that are past their prime, they're here to help them now when they don't need that. They need players to build and develop with over the next 2 or 3 seasons whilst they're poor, and then all of these players are going to be 22 to 27 in that prime and really hitting their straps going off to the playoffs. So yeah, I can see a way forward for this team, but it's not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah. All right. Don't forget to comment below what you think of Philly for current season and future seasons. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more content. But until next time, we'll catch you guys.
I guess.